Hello, Namaskar and welcome to Sikkim Chronicle. साल 2018 LGBTQI कम्युनिटीको लागि एउटा ऐतिहासिक साल हामी भन्न सक्छौँ किनभने भारतको सर्वोच्च न्यायालय सुप्रिम कोर्टले द कन्ट्रोभर्सियल सेक्सन 377 जसले होमोसेक्सुअलिटीलाई क्रिमिनलाइज गर्थ्यो यसलाई डिक्रिमिनलाइज गरेर जुन समलैङ्गिकताहरू हुनुहुन्छ उहाँहरूलाई एउटा सम्मान अधिकार अनि हक प्रदान गरेको थियो सेप्टेम्बर महिनामा एन्ड this in fact came as a very good news to all the LGBTQI community, and most interestingly there were many people who came out of the closet and gradually started and sharing their sexual orientation in a public domain. र आज यो डिस्कसनमा पनि हामी यही सन्दर्भमा कुराकानी गर्न लागिरहेका छौँ, but our discussion will be mainly focused on LGBTQI community in Darjeeling Hills, Sikkim and Siliguri. अनि आजको डिस्कसनमा मसँग पार्टिसिपेट गरिरहनु भएको छ Tshering Wangchuk Lepcha, who in fact is a counselor and also a social activist, and he has been also working for the LGBTQI community. अनि हामीसँग हुनुहुन्छ Lakpa Tamang, दार्जिलिङबाट हुनुहुन्छ. He is the founder of Mitzyu society and also a social activist. अनि Mitzyu society को बारेमा भन्नु पर्दाखेरि overall welfare of LGBTQI community माथि तपाईहरुले काम गर्नुहुन्छ. हामीसँग हुनुहुन्छ ladies and gentlemen Lhamu Dukpa. She is a research scholar from Sikkim University and mainly her area of research is on transgender. धेरै कुराकानी गर्नेछौँ है यसलाई लिएर. And we are also being joined by Yougan Tamang. We know Yougan Tamang is the founder and editor of Sikkim Chronicle, and he has also in fact written some articles on LGBTQI community in previous editions. So धेरै कुराकानी गर्नेछौँ आजको डिस्कसनलाई लिएर है. Let me start with Lakpa Tamang. नेहरूको इन्क्लुजिभनेस भन्ने है जुन थ्योरी थियो यो थ्योरी अहिले आएर रियालिटी भएको छ है. नाउ वी फिल लाइक LGBTQI community has really got the justice finally. कसरी लिनुहुन्छ यो स्ट्राइकिङ अफ 377?
खुसी छु होइन. सबभन्दा पहिला के लाग्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ आज भन्दाखेरि अगाडि चाहिँ अब एकदमै स्टिग्माटाइज थियो होइन यो सोसाइटी, अब हाम्रो जुन चाहिँ सोसाइटी छ त्यहाँनिर. तर जुन दिन 6 सेप्टेम्बर 2018 को दिन चाहिँ हामीलाई जुन चाहिँ एउटा डिक्रिमिनलाइज गर्नुभयो सुप्रिम कोर्टले, त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ धेरैजना आफूले एक्सपोजर दिएर बाहिर आउनुभयो. अहिले हाम्रो सोसाइटीमा के छ भन्दाखेरि जुन चाहिँ एक्सपोजर दिएको थिएन उनीहरू पनि बाहिर आउनु थालेको छ नि त. जुन दिनदेखि चाहिँ यो अधिकार पायो, यो सम्मान एउटा अधिकार त्यो पाउनुमा चाहिँ एकदमै खुसी लागिरहेको छ. अब सबैजना नै खुसी छ यो कुरोले गर्दा चाहिँ.
इफ मे आई आस्क यु है, तपाईँले आफ्नो ओरिएन्टेसन अथवा आफ्नो जुन अब तपाईँले एक्सेप्टेन्स भनौँ न है पब्लिक तपाईँले 2011 मा गर्नुभएको भनेर भन्नुभयो है, त्यति बेला हाउ वाज द रेस्पोन्स फ्रम द सोसाइटी त्यो टाइममा? किनभने 377 वाज लाइक नट स्ट्राइक्ड अफ त्यति बेला.
त्यो टाइममा अब 377 लाई लिगलाइज गरेको थिएन. तर पनि मेरो फ्यामिली कस्तो छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ मेरो फ्यामिलीले चाहिँ पहिल्यैदेखि मलाई एक्सेप्ट गरेको थियो. किन भन्दाखेरि जुन चाहिँ मेरो भूमिका थियो, अब जुन चाइल्डहुड थियो, मेरो नानीपन थियो, त्यति बेला पनि म एउटा केटी जस्तो भएर गर्ने कामहरू गर्ने त्यही उयसमा खेल्ने. अनि त्यसले गर्दाखेरि मलाई कहिले पनि घरबाट प्रब्लम भएन. अन्त जहिले पनि मेरो आमा बाबाले सधैँ नै मलाई साथ दिन्थ्यो.
अनि त्यही कारणले गर्दा तपाईँ ओपन अप हुनुमा पनि सजिलो पर्यो है तपाईँलाई. अलराइट, छिरिङ तपाईँले सोध्न मन पर्यो है, तपाईँहरूले अहिले 3 जनाले मिलेर एउटा रेनबो हिल्स वेलफेयर एसोसिएसन फर्म गर्नुभएको छ होइन. यो एसोसिएसनले के माथि काम गर्नेछ?
यो चाहिँ LGBTQI माथि गर्नेछ. किन भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ धेरै अब लाइक हाम्रो स्टेट मात्रै अरू स्टेटकोले पनि धेरै प्रब्लमहरू फेस गरिरहेको छ. जस्तै डिस्क्रिमिनेसनहरू भयो, जस्तै जग्गा जग्गामा बुल्ली पनि हुन्छ मान्छेकोबाट है. उनीहरूले डेरोगेटरी रिमार्क्सहरू पनि युज गर्छ. त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब मैले चाहिँ के सोच्यो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब पहिला हामी जति पनि बस्ने थियो बस्यो है. अब जस्तै तपाईँको 2009 को डिसिसनमा हाई कोर्ट र त्यो दिल्लीको अलिकति तपाईँको केस हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ अब दिल्लीकोले चाहिँ जुन चाहिँ आर्टिकल 14, 15, 19 र 21 चाहिँ भायोलेट भयो, ह्युमन राइट्स पनि भायोलेट भयो भने चाहिँ हामीले जब डिक्रिमिनलाइज गर्दाखेरि त्यति बेला मलाई खुसी लाग्यो हो त्यति बेला. अन्त त्यहाँदेखि चाहिँ जब सुप्रिम कोर्टमा 2013 मा चाहिँ यो कुरा पुग्दाखेरि चाहिँ फेरि पनि सुप्रिम कोर्टले यसलाई चाहिँ ओभरटर्न गरेन गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ मलाई आई फिल सो ब्याड. किन भन्दाखेरि म बित्ता दिन यति साह्रो सफोकेट भइरहेको थियो हुन्छ नि एउटा सास फेर्नु पनि नसक्ला जस्तो भइरहेको थियो म आई अलवेज प्रे हुन्थ्यो सुत्नुभन्दा अगाडि पनि म प्रे गर्थेँ कि गडलाई प्लिज हामीलाई चाहिँ डिक्रिमिनलाइज गरिदिए किनभने जति सक्दो मैले पुरा झेल्यो साइकोलोजिकली पनि मैले प्रब्लम झेल्यो है सोसियली पनि झेल्यो फ्यामिलीबाट पनि मैले धेरै प्रब्लम झेलेँ म अलवेज प्रे गर्थेँ तर जब 2000 यो अब 6 सेप्टेम्बर 2018 थियो त्यति बेला जब डिक्रिमिनलाइजेसन भयो भनेदेखि चाहिँ म फर्स्ट थियो जसले चाहिँ मैले जहिले चेक गर्थेँ मैले नेटमा कहिले डिक्रिमिनलाइज हुन्थ्यो भने यो यति साह्रो मैले खुसी गरेँ त्यहाँदेखि मैले सबै दार्जिलिङको साथी सबैलाई फोन गरेँ होइन त्यहाँदेखि अब मैले गडलाई प्रे पनि गरेँ कि थ्याङ्क यू एटलिस्ट मलाई जिनुको एउटा बाटो दियो कि त्यहाँ चाहिँ मैले सोचेँ कि अब जिन्दगी त छोटो छ एक दिन म मर्छु होइन आई थिङ्क आई सुड डु समथिङ फर द एलजिबिटी कम्युनिटी भनेर सोचेँ त्यहाँदेखि मैले कमिङ आउट गर्यो अन्त फ्यामिलीमा पनि मैले डाइरेक्टली इन्डाइरेक्टली चाहिँ म कोही कोही बेला सेन्सिटाइज गर्थ्यो किनभने म कोही बेला एक्टिङहरू गरिदिन्थ्यो मेरो फ्यामिलीको अगाडि सो द्याट उनीहरूले बुझ्छ कोही बेला म फ्यामिलीले भन्यो के हो तिमी केटी जस्तो एक्टिङ गर्थ्यौ भने मेरो इभन दाजुले पनि भन्थ्यो तिमी के बिहा गर्दैन यस्तो भने म जिस्केर भन्थ्यो म त कहाँ म बिहा गर्छु म त बेहुलासँग जान्छु भने अब त्यस्तो कुराहरू भन्थ्यो तर अब एकदम खुसी लाग्यो हुन्छ
तपाईँले भन्नुभयो नि है मैले एउटा जिउने मौका पाएँ भन्नुभयो नि होइन आफ्टर द लिगलाइजेसन did you ever felt like you are not a part of a society before this मतलब म समाजको एउटा मेम्बर होइन जस्तो फिल हुन्थ्यो कहिले
हुन्थ्यो किन भन्दाखेरि अब जब मेरो सेक्सुअल ओरिएन्टेसन देखेर चाहिँ मेरो फ्यामिली मात्रै होइन तर मेरो साथीहरू पनि हुन्छ नि मलाई छोडेर जान्थ्यो हुन्छ नि अब म उनीहरू साथीसँग बजारमा हिँड्नु चाहन्थेँ होइन तर मलाई भन्थ्यो तिमी केटी जस्तै हिँड्छ तिमी केटी जस्तो बोल्छ म तिमी नहिँड मसँग भन्थेन त्यसो गर्दाखेरि अब मलाई अलिकति डिस्क्रिमिनेसन गर्थ्यो अब मलाई अप्ठ्यारो लाग्थ्यो कलेजतिर पनि जान्दा मलाई अब कतिले अब नराम्रो वर्डहरू युज गर्थ्यो आन्टी अरे अब छक्का अरे त्यस्तोहरू भन्थेन तर मैले मनमा ठाने यिनीहरू जे पनि भनोस् न गड इज अलवेज देयर टु हेल्प मी हुन्छ नि त्यहाँदेखि मैले त्यो ठानेर चाहिँ मैले भित्तै फाइट गरेँ तर मैले जब मैले एक्सेप्टेन्स नगर्दाखेरि चाहिँ मैले के थाहा पाएँ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ हामी साइकोलोजिकली प्रब्लम एउटा हुँदो रहेछ हुन्छ नि त्यति बेला मलाई यति साह्रो रातभरि निन्दा लाग्थेन हुन्छ नि म यति साह्रो पगला जस्तो भइसकेको थियो फ्यामिली पनि अब आई स्टार्टेड टु स्टेङ अलोन हुन्छ नि त्यहाँदेखि मैले एउटा साथीसँग सेयर गरेको मलाई यस्तो भयो म विदाउट रिजन म रुन्थेँ होइन देन मलाई साथीले एउटा साइकेट्रिस्टकोमा लिएर गयो साइकेट्रिस्टकोमा लिएर जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ मलाई भन्यो कि तिमीलाई डिप्रेसन रहेछ भन्ने होइन डक्टरले अन्त सर मैले डिटेली सोधेँ सर म डिप्रेसन भनेको के हो यस्तो यस्तो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ डिप्रेसनमा सिम्टम्स त्यस्तो हुन्छ नि त अन्त उहाँले चाहिँ भन्यो तिम्रो कारण के छ यस्तो तिमी के छ भने मैले होइन मलाई म पुरा कन्फ्युज छु कि वेदर आई एम अ बोय अर अ गर्ल हुन्छ नि मान्छेले मेरो सेक्सुअल ओरिएन्टेसन देखेर दे अलवेज एभोइड मी हुन्छ नि कसैले त मैले बुल्ली पनि गर्थ्यो हुन्छ त्यसले गर्दाखेरि म यति साह्रो डर लाग्थ्यो कि म हमेसा क्याप ओढ्थ्यो है अनुहारमा हुन्छ नि एउटा लाइक रुमाल ओढेर हिँड्थ्यो हुन्छ नि किनभने मान्छेले मलाई साथी जिस्काइहाल्छ कि कसैले के भन्यो त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ मलाई एक प्रकारको फोबिया बस्यो हुन्छ नि पछाडि चाहिँ त्यसले गर्दाखेरि अब मैले डक्टरसँग पनि कन्सल्ट गरेँ त्यहाँदेखि मैले यो आफ्नै यो फोबियालाई सोसियल फोबिया भनौँ यसलाई फुटाउनुको लागि चाहिँ मैले कमिङ आउट गर्नै पर्ने रहेछ भने त्यहाँ
अहिले चाहिँ तपाईँलाई लिबरेटेड फिल हुन्छ
अहिले चाहिँ मलाई खुसी फिल छ मैले फ्यामिलीहरूलाई पनि भनेँ कि अब चाहिँ प्लिज मेरो जिन्दगी हो म एक बारको जिन्दगी चाहिँ जिउनु चाहन्छु है अब त्यसै चाहिँ नमरौँ म कुछ गर्छु भनेर चाहिँ अन्त उहाँहरूसँग सल्लाह गरेर चाहिँ मैले रेनबो हिल्स वेलफेयर एसोसिएसन
Here comes like stigma and what we call the term homophobia, right? So uh, this stigma has been attached since like many ages, and it will take time for the people to like really accept. Right? How do you think? I mean, your stigma attached jun bhako cha kasरी हेर्नुहुन्छ यसलाई
First, I'd like to add more on what Tshering just said and what the question that you posed, both of them, that how you feel after, the sense of euphoria that was so palpable after Section 377 was decriminalized. I'd like to add more on that by, first going back in history, in the antecedent periods, what happened, where was this mandated? It was mandated from the colonial era. It was the colonial administration that, it was in the 19th century, in the 1860s, that we have the Criminal Tribes Act of 1861 that debarred the hijras to lead a proper life, so to speak. And then again, we have a Section 377 implemented that arbitrarily, distinguishes what is natural and non-natural. And natural is vaginal penile insertion, and non-natural is, because all this is arbitrarily defined. It is whimsically defined by the colonial structure. And now, living in the 21st century, I truly feel that, lots of aspirations, lots of dreams and hopes have now been, as if I could use your word, liberated. The individuals of the ones who belong to the LGBTQIA community, they feel truly unshackled and unburdened from the heavy imprisonment of Section 377. although Section 377 has not been completely decriminalized, because parts of it has been retained by the Honorable Court, where minor children, they are sexually violated. So then I think it is implemented in that case. But when it comes to homosexuality, that to consensual homosexuality between two adults, then I think that is no longer. So the whole point that I'm trying to make here is that the labeling, the categories and the taxonomies that we create, homosexual, heterosexual, normal, non-normal, and this is what Section 377 basically propagated. That was the whole propaganda of Section 377. So now I think it has given a lot of breather to the LGBTQIA community, to the Hijra community, to all of transgender community, to express themselves in whatever way that they feel like. But I'm again disappointed by the transgender bill, the upcoming transgender bill, because then again, the bureaucratic setup is trying to impose a set of rules, like whether you conform to the template of transgenderism or not. So my only question to them is, how can you just arbitrarily impose a set of template that if you fit the bill or not, whether you are a proper, so to speak, proper transgender, or whether you're not a proper transgender. And that is defined by, a very detached bureaucratic setup. We have the officials, we have the panchayati members, of course, we have one transgender member, but everything is so cold and detached.
Actually, it should be like there should be a deliberation, discussions, and opinions.
Definitely. And I'll tell you one more reason why it sparked a lot of controversy, and that is like, I think there might be a clause in that bill where it states that a person who identifies himself or herself as a transgender, they might have to show their body parts, in
That is
front
so
of the
humiliating.
medical practitioner, or anyone for that matter, whoever is occupying that power position. So I think that the decision to self-identify, Nalsa verdict, we need to go back to what Supreme Court said, that transgenders need to be given that onus, need to be given that power to identify which label, which category do they fall into. Who are we to, push them into a certain category, to fit them into a certain mold? Because again, that is again something that is very regressive and archaic.
Right. So, Yougan, I mean, these guys are someone who are pushing the envelope, right? Now, we have been writing on the rights of the LGBTQI just before 377 got legalized. Do you feel sometimes the LGBTQI community are more scrutinized by the society?
See, I have a long. Actually, this discussion is going to be a really long one, but I just want to make it very short and brief. See, what happened? First of all, Sikkim Chronicle taking up the issue since a very long days, a months. Like we were writing stories on LGBTQI. I did a lot of interviews for people belonging to that community. So, see, what happens as being in the media and looking at the kind of things which is going on in the hills, in the entire hills of Sikkim, Darjeeling, Kalimpong, and Siliguri, particularly. See, when I was in 2015, when I went for the World Youth Conference at Delhi, and when I was going through the Sustainable Development Goals to be met by 2030, the Paris Agreement. So I was asked to deliver a note to the people present there. So I did on gender equality. So it was very surprising for me, within the Sustainable Development Goal 2030, the gender was not defined properly. In fact, within that 30 pages draft, there was only spoken. They had only written about a male and a female, a social construct, a male and a female gender. That means, and the whole sustainable development goal theme was based on no one should be left behind. But when you just talk about sustainable goal number 5, gender equality, they've already left the section of gender. So there comes the point, it's kind of a political hypocrisy. I always term that, because one side you're talking they are a part of a community, but when it goes to the legal platform, when you need to really talk that in document, there's somewhere that things are lacking. And apart from that, when I come to Section 377, the Honorable Supreme Court had already given the verdict, and which I personally also appreciate. As a mass also, I appreciate that. But before going to the verdict and before going to the legal part, I guess we should be more talk about social acceptance. That's more important. See, no smoking in public places are banned, but still people smoke there, right? Likewise, maybe 377 are already verdict has been given by the Honorable Supreme Court, but still there exists discrimination, exploitation, and a lot of differences. And that has to be first taken up from the social angle, or social acceptance to be there. Then there should be section 377. And before I just make it like too short, maybe like media or people like her who have been doing a research on them should play a very pivotal role in bringing up these issues in the public domain. Because before talking about 377, your family has to accept, your society has to accept that individual first. Then you can talk about section 377. Yeah.
राइट एब्सोल्युटली उहाँले धेरै है कुरा गर्नुभयो कि सोसियल एक्सेप्टेन्सको कुरा गर्नुभयो नि अनि तपाईँहरूले भर्खरै मात्र एउटा इतिहास रच्नुभयो भनौँ है तपाईँहरूको मिट्ज्यू फाउन्डेसनको थ्रुबाट तपाईँहरूले फर्स्ट क्वेयर प्राइड गर्नुभयो होइन कस्तो च्यालेन्जेस थियो यो प्राइड वक अर्गनाइज गर्नु वाज द ब्युरोक्रेसी रियली कोअपरेटिभ टु गिभ पर्मिसन्स एन्ड वाट वाज द लाइक रियाक्सन फ्रम द सोसल मिन लाइक सोसाइटी मेनली द पिपल
अब र्यालीको कुरा आउँदाखेरि के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि अब फर्स्टमा हामीले जुन अब एउटा सल्लाह गऱ्यौँ होइन सबैजना मिलेर अन्तखेरि लु गर्ने भनिकन हामीले एउटा डेट फिक्स गऱ्यौँ त्यहाँदेखि मैले सबैकोबाट अर्डर लिएँ दार्जिलिङमा त्यस्तो हामीलाई प्रब्लम छैन जुन चाहिँ मैले सिक्किममा देख्छु होइन अब हाम्रो दार्जिलिङ के छ भन्दाखेरि
सिक्किममा कस्तो प्रब्लम देख्नुहुन्छ
मैले यहाँनिर के देख्छु भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ सोसाइटी त के फर्स्टमा आफ्नो फ्यामिलीबाट पनि कोही पनि बाहिर आउनु चाहँदैन रहेछ किनभने मेरो पुरा साथीहरू छ सिक्किममा दार्जिलिङमा आउँछ मजाले एक्सपोज हुन्छ उनीहरू होइन जुन चाहिँ हामीले गर्ने कुरो उनीहरूले त्यहाँनिर आएर गर्छ उनीहरू मेकअपहरू गरिकन हिँड्छ तर जब म सिक्किम आउँछु उनीहरू घरबाट बाहिर आएर मसित भेट्नु पनि मान्दैन किन अब त्यो एउटा क्वेसन मार्क छ त्यहाँनिर होइन अब उनीहरूको यहाँको सोसाइटीले गर्दाखेरि होला या घरको प्रब्लम अन्त म सोध्छु उनीहरूलाई जब सोध्छु त घरबाट अब मेरो बाउले यस्तो भनेको छ आमाले यस्तो भनेको छ तर त्यो सोचिकन मात्रै बस्नु हुँदैन नि त उनीहरूले किनभने आफूले जिउने अधिकार हो जिउनु पर्छ नि त बाहिर त आउनै पर्छ कति दिन चाहिँ भित्र लुकिकन बस्ने कति दिन आमा बाउलाई अब आफ्नो रियालिटी लुकाएर बस्ने भन्नु सक्नुपर्छ सबभन्दा ठुलो कुरो चाहिँ म के हो मैले आफ्नो रियालिटीलाई एक्सेप्ट गर्नु पर्यो जब मैले गरिसकेँ भनेपछि त मेरो आमा बाउलाई भन्नु सक्नुपर्छ नि त अन्त उनीहरूले अब यो कुरोलाई अहिलेसम्म बाहिर आएको छैन
छिरिङ तपाईँलाई के लाग्छ किन होला सिक्किममा बेसिकली है क्लोजेट बाहिर निक्लिनु अप्ठ्यारो मानिरहेको वाइ डु यु फिल सो
मेरो एक्सपिरियन्समा चाहिँ के लाग्छ भन्दाखेरि अर्को त सोसल एक्सेप्टेन्स छैन अब सोसल एक्सेप्टेन्स किन नभएको भन्दाखेरि मान्छेकोमा अवेरनेस छैन सेन्सिटाइजेसन छैन है अर्को चाहिँ अब फ्यामिलीको प्रेसर हुँदछ मेरो एक्सपिरियन्समा किन भन्दाखेरि मेरो थुप्रो साथी छ है एलजिबिटीबाट म उनीहरूलाई भन्छु हामी कमिङ आउट गरौँ होइन अब हाम्रो टाइम पनि भयो आई थिङ्क वी सुड डु समथिङ फर द कम्युनिटी मैले उनीहरूलाई घरमा पनि गयो होइन उनीहरूलाई पनि भन्यो बट मिन्स दे नट विलिङ टु मिन्स अब कमिङ आउट चाहिँ गर्नु मानेन उनीहरूले किनभने कसैले भन्छ कि प्यारेन्ट्सले भन्छ अरे तिमी त्यस्तो गरे पनि त तिमीभन्दा अगाडि म मर्छु त्यहाँदेखि त्यस्तो अब कतिजनाको चाहिँ त्यस्तो कुरा थाहा पायो
राइट मैले यहाँनिर है यो डिस्कसनको लागि रिसर्च गर्दै गर्दा आई वाज गोइङ थ्रु अ भिडियो अफ लेक्स लिम्बू फ्रम नेपाल who made a beautiful video and like with his parents about like saying about his orientation sometimes like what we see or in a larger perspective when we discuss LGBTQI community are often associated with like what we call physical exploitation, right?
Yes,
people say like LGBTQI is only for sex, right? No emotional attached, no strings attached. I mean, do you think this is one of the reasons that people are really looking like this community from a different prism?
Like if I could use my own research example, that is the Hijra community. Probably it has got more to do with the deeply entrenched homophobia, so to speak. First, as I said earlier, the distinctions that man creates, that society creates, homosexual, heterosexual, non-normal, normal, all these categories, these distinctions are what creates, that sort of, how do I put it, that kind of distinction that you might be different from me. I am in the normal category and you belong to that, so-called non-normal category, okay? And people, I think what they need to do is first, they need to educate themselves thoroughly. They are, living in a very how do I put it? They have been living in this fallacy. As I want to reiterate on that point again, that fallacy that these kind of sexuality, these kind of this, for example, AIDS. Again, AIDS is something that is created by these kind of people. That is what they think. This is the kind of notion that they have. So we need to eradicate. We need to expunge such kind of negativity that is prevalent in people's minds, and I think then and only then can substantial change can be brought about in the society. And I think another thing that what we can do as and as an association is to write a letter to the concerned authorities of NCERT and the ones who produce books on ISC, ICSE syllables and syllabus, sorry, and to incorporate the sexuality, the gamut of human sexuality in those textbooks, and to mold children, because children at the very young age, they have a very impressionable mind, and if they are conditioned and socialized about these sexualities at a very young age, and if teachers with compassion, if they speak about such issues to children at a tender age, then when they grow up, these kind of hypocrisy, this kind of homophobia will cease to exist.
So when you were doing your
Yes,
research, were they
yes.
open to interact with you, or were they comfortable getting being researched?
Are you talking about the Hijra community? Actually, there was a lot of difficulty when I first approached them in Kolkata. I did have my share of difficulty. I went with my mom. I went to Khidarpur area, the dock area, and in Sonagachi area. It's a red light district, and I had to wait for them for hours just to have a glimpse of them, or maybe just few phrases. So initially, I had to build a lot of rapport with them, but then when they began to open up, and when I started talking to Mr. Shan, he belongs to an NGO in Chetla in Kolkata, sorry. So they were very candid about their experiences, about the kind of torture, about the kind of harassment that they have to face on an everyday basis, and more particularly the ones who are not privileged, so to speak. Because if you again juxtapose the gay community who are living in Mumbai, they are the elite gays. And then again, we have the Hijra community who's living, in a very, how do I put it, deprived social conditions, right? They have to be answerable to their gurus. They have to bring a certain amount of money in the community. Otherwise, they might be again evicted from their homes. And there's this castration process, which is, of course, illegal. But they are made to be castrated so that they can earn more money. And then again, even in the Hijra community, there's a lot of hypocrisy, there's a lot of discrepancy, right? When we talk about equality between homosexuality and heterosexuality, but there's a lot of inequality even within the Hijra community, so to speak. There's a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of domineering attitude from the gurus to the chelas, and there's also been a lot of illegal activities that has been conducted by them just for the sake of money, right? And there are a lot of hijras, in fact, so to speak, who have retorted, who have opposed the whole system of castration. I don't want to castrate, I don't want to touch my body. It's not that I detest my penis. It's just a part of my body, that's it. It's the soul that matters. I've internalized myself as a woman. I feel myself as a feminine soul. What is the need to, prove to others and to prove to the public society that I'm a proper, so-called, acceptable, real, so to speak, hijra? Because then even in the hijra community, you have the authentic and the non-authentic hijras. And this creates a lot of problems for them. So then I think that if we look at the terminology individually, lesbians, bisexuals, transgender, I think we have to empathize with them and their problems. See, lesbians may have their own set of problems. They are embedded in a patriarchal society where, if I could use that example that I just saw in that Facebook news, I don't know how far that is true, but it seemed very credible. But anyways, let me just quote it. There was this lady who was raped by her relatives to correct her sexuality. So the kind of, how do I put it, vulnerability that the feminine body puts you and the lesbian. So we need to analyze the intersections of lesbianism and, embodying a feminine body, and how that creates a separate set of problems for you, and how that problem is different from the problems that is faced by a gay man.
Right, true. That's true.
Yes.
Yougan, coming to you, it's all about your choice, right, of freedom of choice. And there's an argument why should I reveal what I do in my bedroom? That's my right to privacy, right? So we recently come across through an incident here in Sikkim where some cross-dressers were thrown out of the pub just because they were dressed femininely. So the bracket which has been put on this community, right, is something which has really secluded them from the mainstream society. In context to Sikkim, what needs to be done?
See, when the thing that you pointed out right now regarding the cross dressers being thrown out of the pub, I was in Delhi at the like, you know, because a friend of mine just sent me a screenshot because she knew that I was doing a lot of stories on this LGBTQI community, and then I just saw the text and then I feel really bad about it because like they were thrown out of the pub. I don't know why I didn't deepen myself into understanding the thing, but I really feel bad and I wrote a post about it like see, LGBTQ rights, above that is a human rights. We need to understand that we all are human. So maybe they were lacking that kind of knowledge about it, but I did protest that on social media, and immediately the post that mentioned about all those cross dressers about he okay, see okay, eat over post. Yeah? So after I posted that, that person deleted the post, which I feel that was a victory for me in the social media. See, त्यो पबबाट क्रस ड्रेसरले निकाल्नु ननिकाल्नु त सेकेन्डरी कुरा हो. फर्स्टमा चाहिँ के हो भन्दाखेरि लाइक दे वर पोइन्टिङ आउट लाइक दे नट सोसियली एक्सेप्टेड, यु नो. सो when it comes to social acceptance, it's basically because of the culture that we live in. And भन्छ नि जहिले पनि यो कल्चरले यसो भन्छ, यो कल्चरले यसो भन्छ, त्यो कल्चरको नर्म्स अनुसार हामी बाँच्नुपर्छ भन्छ. तर why do people forget that culture is dynamic? It's not static. It can change with time, right? अगर कल्चर डाइनामिक नभएर स्ट्याटिक भइदिएको त सती प्रथा त अहिले पनि हुन्थ्यो होला, right? But it has to change something which is not benefiting the human fraternity. That has to be changed, like Sati changed. So त्यो कल्चर इज डाइनामिक भएको कारणले गर्दा अहिले हाम्रो समाजमा के छ, पहिल्यैदेखिको कल्चर जुन चाहिँ इनहेरिटेन्स भन्ने मैले जहिले पनि कुरा गर्छु, त्यो इनहेरिट भएर त्यो थट्स अहिलेसम्म आएको छ कि LGBTQI is wrong, they does not fit to be in the society, that's a sin, है. उनीहरू they does not fit into the human society भन्ने जुन चाहिँ कुरा छ, that is a part of a culture which were, you know, coming from the ancestral time. I guess that thought has to be changed now at this point of time. So people has to accept it scientifically also, and plus socially also, culturally also, emotionally also, they are equally the part of the society. And see, another aspect is like people forget, you know, the division of a biological factor and a social factor. Biological, it may be male or female. But when it comes to gender, it's a social construct. A gender can be many, right? Even the scientific research still going on, how many genders do exist in the society. Because you never know, like when I get married in future, I never know what gender my child would be. So, you know, just keep it to the point, like, you know, like culture is a dynamic one. It changes with time. I guess with those dynamism in culture, the mindset has to change. Then only the social acceptance will come. And the cross-dressers, like, you know, they're talking about, they will not be thrown out of the puff if that intangible inheritance changes with time.
भेरी ट्रु, भेरी ट्रु. अब तपाईँहरूले सिक्किममा प्राइड वक अर्गनाइज गर्ने प्लान गरिरहनु भएको छ होइन. सो डु यु थिङ्क लाइक इट्स लाइक नाउ अ आइस ब्रेकिङ लाइक, यु नो, थिङ फर सिक्किम? मतलब सिक्किममा अब यो फर्स्ट टाइम हुन लागिरहेको छ नि है.
अच्छा, यहाँनिर फर्स्ट टाइम हो सिक्किममा.
अन्त कसरी कहिले तपाईँहरूले प्लान गर्नुभएको छ?
अहिले चाहिँ हामी सल्लाहमै छ है. तर अब सल्लाह गरिसकेर देन हामी भन्ने छ कि कहिले हामी प्राइड वक गर्छ भनेर. उयसमै छ,
फेब्रुअरी. सो लाग्छ कि निक्लेर आउँछ होला, मतलब यो पिपल विल गेट लाइक कम एन्ड सपोर्ट द वक, कस्तो लाग्छ? कतिको होपफुल हुनुहुन्छ?
मलाई त त्यति अब लागेको छैन. अब यहाँबाट चाहिँ त्यस्तो पार्टिसिपेट गर्छ जस्तो पनि लागेको छैन. जो चाहिँ कम्युनिटी छ, पुरै नन कम्युनिटी आउँछ, अब त्यो चाहिँ मलाई आशा छ. नन कम्युनिटीले अहिले जुन चाहिँ प्राइड वकको लागि कुरा गर्दैछौँ होइन, उहाँहरूले पुरा सपोर्ट गर्नु आइरहेको छ यहाँनिर पनि. तर जुन चाहिँ कम्युनिटीहरू छ होइन, म गइकन भेट्छु, अब बाहिर निस्किनु नै मान्दैन उहाँहरू चाहिँ. अस्ति पनि अब म आएर भेटेँ होइन, 15-20 जनासित बात गरेँ, तर उहाँहरूले के एउटै खालि एन्सर दियो, होइन म मेरो सोसाइटीमा बाहिर निस्किनु सक्दिनँ किनभने म फर्स्टमा मैले आमा बाउलाई सोच्नुपर्छ भनिकन त्यही एन्सर दियो.
But it's not a crime, no? I mean, like
It's no longer a crime.
It's no longer a crime.
But I think the problem lies is that these people, they have internalized that label to such an extent that, you know, they are suffering from this low self-esteem. They are not able to come out and express themselves freely. You know, I think that is what we need to sensitize them about, and to their parents. And yes.
See, what happens is like, see, it will gradually happen. In fact, it will take time because see, 1864 and almost after 2 decades, like 377 had that verdict from the Honorable Supreme Court. So obviously it will take time, but I guess I would love to encourage you, because like before having this panel, I didn't have any idea that this panel is going to get constituted at this early stage. But like I personally had been hearing from a lot of immigrants of like there's a pride thing going on from the people, from the media itself, and they have been telling me like we should go and participate there, we should help them. See, it's not about being straight or being from the LGBTQI community. Human has to come in as a human and participate. Let them be where they are. If they don't want to come out of the closet, that's their choice. But humans are at least coming to participate. I guess that would be the victory for all the community members.
Because I think maybe they carry this notion that if they come and participate in the pride walk, then it would be like, a silent acceptance or manifesting the sexual orientation. But it's nothing like that, because we see so many, like, even the straight people supporting the event,
Yes,
right?
definitely. And I think I'd like to add one more point. That is like just by passing a verdict, I'm not demeaning what Supreme Court said. It is like a great thing to do. It is the greatest. It's a momentous victory for our community. But I think that, the other institutes like the school, college, media house, corporate houses, all these institutions, they need to work in tandem with the legality, because the legality alone as a monolith can't stand too much for too many days. Because what happens eventually is like a batch of, let's say, LGBTQIA community, let's say if they pass out in class 12, they pass out in college, and then they go somewhere, they look for jobs, they hunt for jobs, and then eventually they get nothing. Corporate houses, they don't have that safe workplace. Even if they do enter into a certain workplace, they are sexually abused, harassed by their seniors, and then again they slip into depression, and some of them might even commit suicide. So I think it needs to be in conjunction. That is my only
Very
that's
true.
what I propose.
The topic is so huge. The canvas is so large. Like, it's just a dot like what we are discussing, right? So anyways, जाँदा जाँदै है केही मेसेज छ तपाईको
म के भन्नु चाहन्छु भन्दा we all are the same human beings, no differences. The differences you make is by your own हुन्छ नि mentality. So please change your mentality and please accept all your sons and daughters, because they all are the part of the human beings and also the children of the God.
Right.
That's
म चाहिँ के भन्छु भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब हामी दार्जिलिङ सिक्किमहरू चाहिँ एउटा वेस्टर्नाइज मान्छ नि त होइन. हामीले मान्छे चाहिँ हामी देख्दाखेरि अब एउटा वेस्टर्न जस्तो लुगा लगाइहरूदेखि खानु बसेहरू, तर हामीले सोच चाहिँ चेन्ज गर्नुपर्छ क्याउ. अगाडि आउनु पऱ्यो नि त. राम्रो कुरोको लागि चाहिँ जहिले पनि अगाडि आउनुपर्छ. बरु नराम्रोको लागि बस्छ, तर राम्रो हुँदैछ, राम्रो कुरो गर्दैछौँ भनेपछि चाहिँ सधैँ अगाडि आउनु चाहिँ सिक्नुपर्छ हामीले.
Well, my central message is like I oppose the TG bills, Hari, first of all, and like how institutions, they arbitrarily define people that they need to fit into a certain identity, which they should not actually. People should be given the power to judge themselves, which category they fit into, whether it's lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, asexual, intersex, whatever it is. Even if they want to remain in a hijra identity, that is fine. But, they shouldn't mold a certain individual in a certain way that you should, this is the ideal way to be a certain category. That is the wrong way to be. That is my central message.
Yeah. See, before we end up this entire discussion, maybe we should highlight to the viewers, like there's already a transgender panel in the state of Sikkim, which is already there. Maybe there are certain flaws and all where the government might be working on it. That's secondary to me. But like what I feel like Sikkim has a transgender panel. I guess Sikkim can also be an example in the country in terms of creating a notion in the nation itself, like, these people are like the people so have made it stereotypically defined like normal and non-normal. I guess we Sikkimis have the potential to make difference in the society by coming out and supporting them. The small tiny Himalayan state can set an example in the country, like everyone is equal and there is no difference in any gender, and equality has to be from the grassroots and not just from the grassroots, from the mindset. So I guess Sikkim can set an example.
Right, absolutely. And it was so lovely talking with you all in this
lovely to
topic.
be
It
here.
was so nice. And let's hope we'll come up with more discussions on different topics related with the LGBTQI. Thank you so much to the panel. So all right, we definitely see the light in the end of the tunnel, and it's just the beginning for the LGBTQI community in the state of Sikkim. Sikkim. And if you do support, and if you don't want to stigmatize these sections of the society, please do come and participate in the Pride Walk, which in fact is gonna happen this month here in the state of Sikkim. So with my camera person Ashish Gurung, this is Nirmal saying goodbye. Thanks for watching Sikkim Chronicle. It's very good.